Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. What's going on? My name is Vic. So after a bit of a frustrating experience on the last outing with the Osmo Pocket, where I just felt it wasn't that dynamic and it was like swap this, do that, and I wasn't very fluid, I've decided, can we actually shoot everything completely in auto? Forget about all the settings. Does it make a difference? So all you're going to see here is stuff that's shot in 24 frames per second and 48 frames per second, or maybe 60 frames per second for slow-mo. That's the only change. Let's go. We're in the donkey sanctuary in Liscarroll, by the way, which is this amazing sanctuary for all rescue donkeys, that kind of thing. And at Christmas, we sponsored a few donkeys for my mum as a Christmas present, because like me, she's a big animal lover. So we finally said, right, come on, let's go down. So it's me, Mia, Cameron, and my mum and dad, and we're shooting everything auto. So I can see, just looking at the phone, that the sky's blown out. We're not even touching the exposure compensation, because what a clue, because if you're just running and gunning, you're probably not going to do any settings, especially if you're kind of setting out on your YouTube or video making journey as you kind of learn as you go along. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I find it a bit of a struggle, but the fact that the Osmo, the screen is too small, it does need to be connected to the phone, and I don't know, I just find the whole thing very frustrating. So I just want to see what auto is like. Let me know if you guys have an Osmo Pocket, how do you shoot it? In the meantime though, you can enjoy some of the stunning scenery down here. That happens to the best of us. Where are you going? Down this way. Everyone's down this way.
I have to tell Nanny.
Alright. Excitement. Let me know so far. I don't know how far into the video this is, but let me know what you're finding with the auto settings, how this whole thing looks, because it's kind of probably a little bit hard for me to judge right now because I'm just looking on the phone, but I know the sky is blown out, and I know the shutter speed is 1/800, which is not what I would normally shoot at, but you know, for anyone that's starting out, maybe this does the job. If you just want to vlog, if you just want to make content, you know, obviously with the B-roll and stuff, it's probably going to be a little bit different, because that's when you want that buttery smooth stuff, and you want to be shooting something at a decent shutter speed as opposed to something that's like, you know, cranked all the ways up, and then it looks very jittery and it's very hard to kind of break it down. But either way, we're all auto, which is the first time I've really done this. But I don't know, part of me is just going, Osmo, it's great, but I don't know. Anyway, let's see how the rest of this goes, and let me know in the comments, how's it looking so far? Don't wait till the end of the video, just kind of pause it now and just drop a comment below, and then rock on. Weather, started to rain, didn't get lost, but kind of went the longest possiblest way we could actually go to get to where we're going. So everyone is a little bit pooped. No more poop jokes, I promise. So yeah, we're nearly there. Like, I gotta be honest, shooting on auto is less of a hindering or frustrating experience, so that's good. I know the wind is screwing it up now, so I'm going to shut up. Back in the studio after a pretty epic day to Liscarroll Donkey Sanctuary. Those donkeys are amazing. That whole place is amazing. So if you're local or you want to help them out, do show them some love. I'm not paid to say that, by the way. Nope, they're a charity. I just kind of believe in a lot of what they do. So
Can you shoot everything in auto on the Osmo Pocket? Of course you can shoot everything in auto on the Osmo Pocket. Do what the hell you want. It's your camera. However, if you want to get things a little bit more cinematic, you're not going to achieve that with a 1/800 shutter speed. You need ND filters. You need to be able to get that shutter speed down to 1/50. You need to be able to kind of get 1/120 or even 1/100 if you're doing kind of, you know, the 48 frames per second or the slow-mo at 60 frames per second. Otherwise, it's a little bit jittery looking and it doesn't look that cinematic. Does that make sense? So it's up to you, depending on what you kind of want to get out of it. I guess for some people, it is going to be frustrating to, this needs to be 1/50. When all you want to do is just pick up the camera and go bang and talk to the camera. So I just find the whole workflow a little bit cumbersome, and the way the Osmo is. I know the magnetic ND filters from the likes of Polar Pro or Skyread are amazing, and they're probably easier to put on than just, you know, screwing them onto something like, you know, a bigger lens. That said, the Osmo is so small, they can be a little bit cumbersome, they can be a little bit finicky, and it's not one size fits all. That's the thing. If you want to do cinematic stuff with the Osmo, it's, for me, I find it personally, it's just a little bit more challenging. Don't get me wrong, the idea that there's a gimbal already in there and it works perfectly well is amazing. But on the other side of it, it can be just a little bit finicky. And the big killer for me is it's not as dynamic as a normal camera, whether that's a big DSLR or whether it's a kind of a small compact like what I used to use for a long time, which was the RX100 Mark V. Still an amazing camera. Battery life sucks. So with this, you can just, you know, you can turn it this way, up, down, left, right. With the Osmo, it's not as dynamic as that because the camera and the gimbal are working together and they're always trying to keep things straight, and it's just... And I find that very frustrating. And when you're in the middle of something, it can just be that little bit annoying when you're like, I just want to shoot that bird, or I just want to shoot something that's above, and then you're like, I can't really hold it up because it's going this way, and then you have to... and then the bird is gone or whatever you're trying to shoot. So in that sense, it doesn't make you as much of a dynamic vlogger. However, it does make you think a little bit more, but you can't kind of outthink where the bird is going to be in the next 10 seconds or whatever you're trying to shoot, depending, maybe it's you or people. I just find it a little bit frustrating at the moment because I do miss the dynamicism of a normal camera. And in fact, I'm kind of thinking of going back to a normal camera in one stint, but like, you know, the size of the Osmo, you just can't, you know, you can't beat it. It's so small, it just literally does go into your pocket. So that's kind of a gripe I have, but you can shoot absolutely everything you want on auto. For me, it's probably not something that I would be doing all the time. Maybe the talky things, where it's literally just a head, it's a talking head kind of to camera when you're walking around. That's probably not a big deal for most people. I do think if you're doing kind of some cinematic B-roll, if you're doing, you know, some of the slow-mo stuff, then you probably are going to have to kind of dig deep and start fiddling with those manual settings to get the best look possible out of the Osmo. And that means you need the ND filters to get the slower shutter speed and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? If you never kind of dig in and you never say, I'm going to shoot manual at some point, then you never will. And it's not that complicated. And it's a good learning process, and it's something for you guys to learn if you're just starting out, as we said at the start of this video, on your video making journey. Do you need to do it straight away? Probably not, but the more control you have over the camera, whether it's an Osmo Pocket or whether it's something else, the better, because it's you controls the camera, not the camera controlling you. You're the charge. You're the charge. You're in charge. You're the boss, not the camera. So that's it. That's my take. Can you shoot everything auto? Yes. Is it a good way to do it all the time? No. My name is Vic. There's a subscribe button somewhere around here, and we will see you in the next episode of the vlog. Until then, thank you very much for your time, and don't stop playing with yourself.